Okay, y'all, everyone's home. My husband's home, the kids are home, the dog's under my bed, so we're gonna hope we don't have interruptions, but it might be noisy. But hi. I have gotten more comments and some questions and more testimonies about y'all getting in school, so I'm excited, as always. I know I say that in every video. First off, I want to say the last video, or the second to the last video I made, I was showing you guys like what I carry in my backpack, what I have in my nursing bag and stuff, and I was talking about a pocket organizer that I have that I couldn't find. Turns out my husband had it. He put it under the bathroom sink. I don't know why, but I found it, and here it is. This is what I was talking about. I love it, and you guys should get one. It's only like $5. And the link to where to get it is on my first video on the bottom. But like, it has everything. It has like a little organizer right here. Usually I put my money in here, or like my card or whatever I need for that day. And I have cough drops in here, and my pen light, and you know, just what I need while I'm at the hospital, and a pen. Anyway, this really comes in handy, so get one. Put it in your scrub pocket. I promise you, you'll love it. Okay, anyway, so this video is really just about questions that I've gotten, and things that I've seen scrolling through the comments on my videos that I would like to bring up. The first thing I'd like to bring up is somebody mentioned, and I didn't write y'all's names down, sorry, but somebody mentioned how competitive getting in nursing school is, and how that can sometimes be the start of you wanting to quit. And trust me, I know, guys, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Getting in nursing school is so hard. It really is. It's like, I don't know. It's like, there's so much demand for nurses, and you would think they give you room for everyone who wants to be in it, but it's really competitive. Like, it's no joke. They do not play. And so don't be discouraged, because it took me a while too. Like I told y'all, I went to every school. I got all the information I needed from every school, and I did my research first, and then I applied. And like I said before, the first school I chose, I got denied, which cost me a whole extra year or more to get into the program. So I'm here to say, do not stop. If you catch yourself at a bump in the road because you got denied at one school, or because, you know, they said you needed another class, or don't let that be the reason that you quit. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. And you have to understand that you're not the only one that it happens to. And that maybe it's not that it's not fair, but that it's not your turn yet. God is the one who knows our plan. God is the one who made our plan before we were even born. And you have to understand that. So if you don't get in a program, or they tell you that you need 5 more classes that you weren't told about at first, don't let it discourage you. And I know you're going to be pissed, because I was pissed too when I had to spend another $10,000 on 10 classes just because I had to take something else. But you cannot give up. You cannot give up. If they tell you need more classes, take the classes. If you get denied at one school, go to another school. Keep going. So, yes, nursing school is competitive. And no, you're not always going to get it on the first try, but that's okay. So, you have to understand that. And just know you're not alone. Like I said, I went through it, and now look, I'm a senior, about to be done. So you have to get through that and understand that it happens. And you're just going to have to suck it up and get through it. Number 2, a lot of you talk about how nervous y'all are, and trust me, I know. Because I'm telling you, like, when I first got in nursing school, into the program, all I could think about was clinical. And the reason is because you don't hear anybody talk about clinicals. Like, you search these nursing programs, and you search these YouTube channels, And nobody talks about their clinical. They always talk about the classes, and you're able to look up the classes and see what the classes are about. And so, although does make you nervous, what made me nervous was clinicals. And so, it's okay to be nervous, and understand that everybody in your class is going to be nervous. For one, it's new for you. You've never been through it. You're not given this manual for dummies that tells you how to go through it. So it's okay to be nervous, but don't allow your nervousness to go with you when you walk in that building. I don't care if you don't know what, PRN means, or, Q2H means, or whatever. If you don't know how to convert, units to whatever medication, act like you know it, okay? And you have to walk in that hospital like, hey, if I don't know it, I'm going to learn it, and I'm here to work. And you have to be that way. Now, it's okay to be nervous, but just understand that when you go in a patient's room, they can tell when you're nervous. And so, suck it up and just go in there and talk to them like, hey, I got this. You have to kind of talk yourself into it. Like, I remember the first time I had to put an IV in a patient, I was so scared. And for one, I always felt like black people were harder to stick. And I can say that because I'm half black, so I'm not being racist. But just because I've always thought that with veins, you go by how it looks. Do not make that mistake. You feel for the vein, and you don't look, okay? You feel for it, and whichever one you feel and is really palpable, that's the one you go for. Anyway, story is, I was so nervous, y'all. Like, I don't think y'all understand. I felt like I could kill her if I didn't get this right. And so I went in, and she did not know that I was nervous. And I don't even think she knew this was my first time trying to put an IV in. I went in there and I looked her in the eyes. Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm your student nurse, and I'm going to put your IV in. I conversed with her the whole time. We talked about her kids, her grandkids, laughing, and I got it on my first try. And that's how you have to be. So I know you're going to be nervous in class and, clinical, but it's okay. Just, pray about it, believe in yourself, and you're gonna get it in class, in clinical, in lab, wherever. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask questions. And there's a lot of nurses who don't even want you to be around because you're a student. First of all, they've been a student before, so don't feel like, oh, I'm in their way. No, we're supposed to be in your way, because when they're old and retire, I don't mean to use the word old, but when they retire, we're the ones who have to be there. And so if you get a nurse who feels stuck up or who's acting like they don't want you around, don't let that get to you, because that's their loss. And understand that it's not your fault that they're being stuck up, okay? So just, either ignore it like I do. I don't care. And I'll still ask questions, and I'll still bug them, because that's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. But you can either ignore it, or you can let it bother you. But if you let it bother you, it's going to end up showing in your work and showing in the way you address patients, and you don't want to do that. So, just be confident, be kind, and just know that you're there to work, you're there to learn, and you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And the more you do it, like after my first clinical, I was like, oh, we're good. Like, the worst thing for me was going into patients' rooms. Like, first of all, I get there at 6:45 and I have to go wake up my patient to get their vitals. That is kind of nerve-wracking. I hate when people wake me up. So for me to go into your room and do that, no. But you have to get over that. Because look, if we don't do it as students, they're going to do it anyway. So you just have to go in there and say, hey, good morning. How are you? Would you like me to dim the lights? Would you like me to keep them off? I can do however you like, but I just need to take your vitals really quick. And then if you need to get some more rest, feel free to do that. Just be kind and let them know, I care that you need rest, but we need to get these vitals because we need to make sure you're okay. And then you can go back to do what you're doing. As long as you go in it positive, then usually the outcome is, the patients are great. I've only had like one mad patient before, cussing me out and everything. And you just have to, sometimes you have to let them know in a nice way, Miss Johnson, you know, I'm here to take your vitals, and we are required to take your vitals, and once we're finished, then we can let you go to sleep. And I know you're frustrated. I will be frustrated too, Miss Johnson. Trust me. But we just want to make sure you're good. And then they usually, you know, are okay. So you just have to create that relationship with your patient. And as long as you create that relationship with your patient, then you're good. So anyway, that was all kind of a blur, but nervousness, you'll get over it. You know, after the first few clinicals, few classes, once you get the hang of things, you'll be fine. So, you know, on your first day of school, think back to what I'm saying. Amanda said I was going to be nervous, and I'm nervous, but I'm going to be all right. We're going to get through this, and it's going to be fine. So you'll get through it. Number 3, another thing is study tips. Somebody asked me, one of you guys, I think his name was Will, I'm not sure. Hi, Will, if that's you. But somebody asked me how I study. And I kind of talked about it in my other video, but for one, I have friends and we study together. You have to find your group of friends in your class who study like you and who you're able to get information from, vice versa. Because when I study, I might miss things. And then my friend will be studying that same book. And then she'll tell me, hey, did you know blah, blah, blah? Did you get that when the book said blah, blah, blah? What we do, the way I study, is I print off every PowerPoint that I get in every class. It doesn't matter what class. I print off every PowerPoint we get. I take them to class. I take notes on them. Then I go back and sometimes I read the chapter. Sometimes I don't. And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of your teachers are going to tell you to read the chapters. Granted, yes, that's important. But let's be real. Especially when us who have kids, we cannot read all those textbooks. It's not possible. It's not going to happen. So this is what you have to do. Take your PowerPoint or take whatever the teacher lectured from, notes, whatever, outline, and look at the main things that they talked about. Look at each PowerPoint, go back to the book, and read those sections. It'll cut a lot of your time. Those textbooks are filled with just gibberish so much that you will run yourself crazy if you just read. So I would recommend, or what I do, is I take my PowerPoints, and if I don't understand anything, if I'm not getting the concept, if I feel stuck, if I need a better description, I go to my textbook and I read just that section. Another thing that me and my friends do is we do scroll through the chapters, and we look for, usually our books have like boxes of important information, or it'll say like nursing alert. Make sure the patient, blah, 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 blah. Or it'll have a box with care plans in it in our textbooks. Our teachers love questions out of those important highlights in our book. Those graphs, those, you know, notes on the side of the pages in your textbook. Look at those. It's much faster to look at those important key points in your book than scrolling through reading it. So I would recommend doing that also. Again, I know I stressed on index cards. Me and my friends, we make index cards. And we write whatever topic the index card is about on one side. On the other side, we write down, this is what we need to know, y'all, for the test. And that's how we learn. Like, for example, electrolytes. For each electrolyte, we would write, you know, an index card, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, you know, potassium, whatever. When you're taking vitamin K, what is that for heart? That's what you want to think, heart. When you think of potassium, you think dysrhythmias, you think of, you know, things like that. That's what they're going to ask you. So go through your textbooks, go through your notes, see what's important. Nursing care. As a nurse, what are you supposed to watch for? You know, with vitamin K, obviously watch their levels. Make sure you write their levels, 2.5 to 5. Make sure you write, you know, if they overdose on potassium, what do you give them? I think it's warfarin. Yes, it's warfarin. Coumadin and warfarin, I think. Sorry, I'm like testing myself while I'm talking to y'all. But stuff like that, that's what they're going to ask you. So you start to understand and see how your teachers test you, because they all test differently. And when you start, you know, peeping them, and when you start seeing, okay, they like to ask nurse teaching questions, or they like to ask side effect questions, that'll help you too. That'll help you start knowing what to write down on your index cards. So if you're like me and you like learning from index cards, use those. Another study thing we do is after we make those index cards, me and my friends test each other. So I'll look at my index cards and I say, your patient's in, and they have you know, they're urinating a lot, and they are blah 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 blah. What is this? What is this? What does this indicate? And you have to let me know what does that sound like? What type of endocrine disorders does that sound like? Okay, once they get that answer, now what do you do as a nurse? What am I gonna do? Or give me some nursing diagnoses that you would diagnose if your patient came in with, you know, SIADH, stuff like that. And so study that way. Talk to your friends, test them, test each other. And I can't stress enough, a big study tip is get NCLEX books. They help so much. Like, it starts, nursing questions are not like any other questions that you will have on any other test. They're different material. Other than that, I do go back and I listen to my teacher's lectures sometimes, either if I missed it, which is very rare. I've probably missed maybe 2. Don't miss class, y'all. It's so important. And just if you don't get something, or if the book is not giving you enough, then go back and listen to the lectures if you have that option. Our school has that option. Our teachers record all of their lectures for us, so I'm not sure how yours does it, but if they do, then I would highly recommend, if you don't understand something, or if you miss something, if you dozed out, whatever, then you can go back and listen to it. And so another thing that I want to talk about, which we all do, is getting discouraged. I saw a lot of your comments, and I know that we all go through things. Life is very hard, and it's not made to be easy. I think a lot of people think that it is, or sometimes we forget that there's going to be hardships, and it's hard sometimes to accept that. I don't know what any of you guys are going through, but I know that nursing school is very difficult, and when you incorporate it with your already hard life, it's very hard. And people who are not in nursing school don't understand that, and they're never going to understand that. Other colleges, or other majors are not like nursing, obviously, unless you're in like medical school or something, but not to say it's more difficult than any other thing. However, we go through things others don't. And every day we have to go in hospitals and deal with other people's lives and pretend sometimes like ours is okay. Because we can't go in a room down, you know, like we can't do that. And so it's okay to feel discouraged. It's okay to be stressed. It's how you deal with it. And that's what you have to understand. My life is not easy. My life is not difficult, but my life is not easy, and neither are you all's. But you have to take control of it. Don't let life control you. You control life. You be the driver. First, you do that by giving it to God, period. It doesn't matter what the situation is. Give it to God. For example, coming back from Florida, my car was going crazy. The speedometer stopped working, and I didn't know what was going on. Mind you, I just paid my car off. Next thing you know, my check engine light comes on. So my husband and I, we take it up to the auto place, and lo and behold, my transmission is bad. So now I don't have a car right now until I pay $3,500 for my transmission. I don't have $3,500 right now. I'm not a nurse yet. And that, for somebody else, that's stressful. Like, that is a deal breaker, and that will discourage them. But I have a God. I'm not upset. I know it's going to be paid. I don't know when. I don't know how yet. But you have to understand that life is not over. You have to understand that people have it worse than you do. I have a home. I have another car we can use. I have healthy children. I have a wonderful husband. I'm blessed. I'm spoiled. I'm in school. And I know that in 2 years, I won't have to go through these situations. So you have to understand that your situation is how you deal with it. If you let it get you down, you're going to be down and you're going to be discouraged. If you don't let it, then you're going to be fine. And so understand that. Keep that mentality, especially through nursing school. Especially through nursing school. Because nursing school is already stressful. You don't need anything else stressing you out. To my girls in relationships that are not doing you well, I've been there, done that before I was married and through marriage, which is even harder because we're stuck for better or for worse. You have to let go of that stress and that distraction. And as hard as it sounds, and it's easier said than done, if you're out there and you're going through nursing school and you're dealing with this tough situation with a man or even a friend who's not on the same page as you, you have to let that go. Because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your journey. And if you allow these small little situations to stress you out and to get in your way of success, it's going to knock you down. You cannot do that. So don't feel discouraged. And whatever situations you're in during nursing school, understand that we do have lives and we are going to go through things in nursing school, but you have to control how you react to it. And when you're stressed, allow that stress to be a stepping stool as to why you work harder. Don't let it get you down. Let it lift you up. And you just have to keep that mindset, or else you're not going to survive nursing school. You're not. Control yourself. Control your thoughts. Control your mind, control your surroundings, control your situation, and understand that you will be able to see through things because it's not going to be easy. I've been in college since 2010, and I've had jobs here and there, but it gets hard. And when me and Jeremy, my husband, we were going through those tough times, there were times we didn't eat so our children could eat. And there were times where our lights cut off, and we had to go pay the bill to get it cut back on by borrowing money from somebody else. But you know what? You cannot, in those moments, you cannot think about it in a sad way. You can't. You have to understand that right now you're going through a phase in your life to get to a better place. And that's okay. We're going to struggle. We're going to struggle. But as long as you're doing something to get out of the struggle, you're going to be okay. So that's why I don't stress. I don't stress that I don't have a car right now. I don't stress that I can't go to the mall and buy all the shoes that I want. I don't stress that I'm not flossing all this money like these people on Instagram are, because I know that my time is coming. And when my time does come, I'm going to show out. And no, I won't be on Instagram flashing my money because I'm not that way. But what I'm saying is I'm waiting on my time. And I know God is going to give it to me and my husband when it is our time. And so you just have to be patient. And don't be discouraged. And when you are discouraged, because we will get discouraged and we will get stressed and we will get overwhelmed, it's going to happen. Give it to God. Pray on it. Don't think too hard, and communicate with your significant other or your mom or your friends, because trust me when I tell you, me and my friends, we cry to each other all the time. Your nursing friends are going to become your family because that's who you're around all day, every day. And so it's okay to cry. It is okay to cry. Cry out. If you're watching me now and you need to cry, cry, baby, because it's okay and you're going to get through it. You just have to understand that you do not want to keep yourself in the position you're in. It's just a phase. It's just a phase. And nursing school is not your life. We're going to get through it. Whatever situation you're in, we're going to get through it. And so, that's how you have to go about that. I'm sorry. I get to preaching sometimes and I can't stop because, I've been through a lot, and sometimes you get upset because you see people doing so good, and sometimes you start thinking they don't even deserve that. Like, I work my ass off, and you know, I got kids, and they're not doing nothing with their life, and they're just getting stuff handed to them. But me and my husband just had this talk earlier, because sometimes you get to the point where you see all these people doing so good, and you feel like they do not deserve it. First of all, we're not the judge of that, and we have to remember that as humans, we're not the judge of that. And you gotta see, you gotta understand where your blessing is coming from. A lot of these people flashing money and flashing vacations and flashing, you know, all these girls flashing their behinds. You gotta understand that that's not God doing that. And maybe it looks good. Here comes one of my babies. It looks good while they're doing it, but you gotta understand. Hi, honey.
Hey, mommy.
But you gotta understand that God is not blessing them with that. And so sometimes we have to wait, because where we're receiving our money from and our wealth from and our blessings from is the right person, and that's God. And so don't let other people's success discourage you, because sometimes that success is not coming from the right person. And so just remember that. And since both of my babies are here,
Mommy,
interrupting my video, yes? Stop.
I can wish my nose.
Okay, your nose? Okay. Can you go with Daddy? I'll be there in a second. Hi. Okay, another one's coming. I'm sorry, guys. This is every day. I'm shocked that I've lasted this long without them coming in. Lastly, I wanted to talk about, someone asked me how I paid my bills and living expenses through school. Like I said, it's 2015. I've been in college for 5 years. And sometimes paying bills don't be paid on time, okay? Let's just be real. I'm gonna be real. I don't try to sugarcoat. I don't try to act like I have my stuff together. I'm blessed, and my bills get paid. Not on time, but my bills get paid. And the way that happens is, for one, prayer, because sometimes we don't have it, and I ask God to help me through it, and you know, to see me through it, and He does. Now, recently, for the past year or so, I have been very blessed. I have a wonderful mother, and I have a wonderful grandmother who helped me with bills that my husband and I might need help with. And so I have a great support system. That's number one. Usually I work in the summer or during breaks. I have not worked during this summer because I wanted to spend time with my kids, and I truly, truly, truly needed a break. I've been bored, but I truly, truly felt like after all the school and all the hard work I put in, I really needed to give myself time with my children, with my husband, and really take a break. So, no, I do not work. No, I don't work while I'm in school. It's just too much for me. I have these two, and it would be like me working just to pay daycare. It doesn't make sense. But I pray about it, and I have a good support system who helps my husband and I in times of need. And I have a husband. Shh, I'm recording. I need you guys to be quiet or go with Daddy. And also, my husband is my support. That is who takes care, who holds it down. And I know, unfortunately, not all women are in that position, or have, are married yet, or, have a significant other that helps support them. But, so I don't really have like a, 100% answer as to how to support yourself through school. Everyone's situation is different. Daddy wants you. Go. Everyone's situation is different, but I have reached out, sometimes when I am in times of need, which lately I haven't been, because like I said, I get a lot of support, but, it's been times where I asked a church for help. It's been times where I had to get, assistance from places. And that's okay, because like I said, this is a phase in your life. So how did I pay bills and living expensive? Jesus, and any help I can get, whether it's government or family. And obviously, number one, my husband, who supports me in everything I do. And so I hope this helped. Look what you did. Obviously it's getting chaotic, so I'm gonna go now, but seriously, leave me with any other questions, and when they're sleeping, I will get back to you guys, but I can't do anything with these two boogers right now. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
So we're gonna go, and we love you guys. Good luck. Hit me up, message me, follow me on Instagram.
And play with toys.
And play with toys. And the link to my Facebook and Instagram is on my first video. And I hope you guys have a good week. And I'll talk to y'all maybe next week. Bye.
Bye.
Do a funny face, funny face, funny face.
Bye, bye, bye.